Hands on helmets. 10 seconds.
Welcome, I'm Chris McKean.
Oh, you scared me. And I'm Andy Kiner.
We're all about cross-country racing, and usually it starts with 10 seconds.
But not in Iowa. In Iowa, it starts with hands-on helmets.
Welcome back.
Yeah, had a little break there, didn't we?
We did have a break, you know. It's nice. We're pretty busy in our household with kids' activities and graduations and graduation party coming up. So it was nice to take some time off and spend it with some family.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm sending a message here real quick. Yeah, I know you've been extremely busy with all outside activities you got going right now.
Yeah. So, what's new with you?
Just this message.
This message.
I'll have to tell you about this in a minute. I need Craig Crary to call me. So, Craig, if you're listening, not right this second, but I have a unique situation that see if we can't get handled real quick. I need somebody from Wisconsin that can potentially bring a four-wheeler to me at Mount Pleasant.
Oh, so, you found another little 50 that you can ride on?
Got to find some. Ooh, it's early here. I was explaining to you what I was messaging, and
the window was there. I had to take it.
You're already taking me low. Man. Nope, it's not my machine, but it's somebody that's coming from a long ways away, and it's the way things are working and going to bring their machine. They were going to drop it off at my house, but now they're not coming this way. So long story short, they're going to Wisconsin a different way and want to drop it off to have it brought to me so that I can take it to Cainsville for them. Big, long thing going there, huh? So, yeah.
Yep. So, I put out there, we'll talk a little bit about Mount Pleasant. It's going up. What's kind of getting ready for it.
What's going on Mount Pleasant?
Just, we're getting ready. Round 3.
Oh, that's true. We are racing at Mount Pleasant, aren't we?
11 days.
A place that I can never be there enough. That's a fun place to set up and great family. Lots of tractors. That sure don't hurt anything. Except when I come home wanting another tractor.
Also got out there, we got some updates with round 5. You're down there. Correct me if I'm wrong.
You're wrong.
Sunday.
No, it is 5. You're right. God, I hate saying that. You are right. It is 5. Yep. I was down there yesterday. Talked about that a little bit. Yep. So.
Then we have some other updates. Announcement coming up. I'm just going to throw you under the bus. You got something brewing, don't you?
There's always something brewing. It's just whether or not I'm prepared to talk about. I'm not very good off the cuff, so I don't think I've written anything up.
Oh, yeah. So Mount Pleasant, round 3. It's hard to believe it. We're already round 3. Talking round 3.
Yeah.
Big question on my mind, popsicles. Making yourself a note there, texting yourself about reminder to grab some popsicles.
Well, if I'm going to do that, I got to do it like the week before. Remember last time? They
Yes.
weren't. That was the biggest challenge. It's like part of the challenge is finishing. The second challenge is getting a hard popsicle.
Yeah.
They're more like slushies half the time. So. But yeah, no, if it's gonna be warm like it had been in the past, we're a little earlier than we normally are, though, aren't we?
Yeah.
So actually, it's not just a couple weeks
Well,
though.
Well, last year we had to flip flop, wasn't it? We had to flip flop
That's right.
Cahokia and Mount Pleasant around for scheduling
Yes.
conflicts.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, so it's earlier than what we're kind of used to the last couple of years.
Yeah. Yeah. We may have to do popsicles at a couple of them this year. I guess we did two last year too. We did
We carried it over to
Weldon.
Weldon.
Yeah.
No, not Weldon, Cahokia.
I know we did it Weldon too. Maybe we got more of them down there.
Okay.
Yeah. Yep. So Nope. Hopefully we don't have that heat. I wish it would stay just like it is right now. Perfect during the day and night.
Yeah, it's a little warm. But yeah, same track. Any news on track? Any track updates as we get prepared?
Yeah, so I've been talking with Danny. I can go over kind of what we talked about. It's not quite official yet, but I know we're going to have more parking on the south side where like the crew always parks, where Paul Cirque and everybody is, where we have that lane going there. So we're going to have a little bit more room over there this year. We will not have the field back like we thought. I wasn't sure if it was this year or next year, but we will not have it back this year. But I think we've kind of outgrown our starting area, where we've been doing it. And it sounds like we're going to be behind Danny's house. We started the kids back in there a couple years ago.
So we're talking kind of over by the big barn area, right?
No, not over there, behind his house, like back by the big silo.
Okay.
Yeah. That's probably that's leading candidate way right now for where we'll do the start at this year.
Gotcha.
So I guess why I'm saying that with the parking, if you're there early, it's going to help get some of those spots. We access pretty much everything we can, down the road, the driveway, which that's not a bad place to park. It's easy to get in and easy to get out of, right across from a lot of the parking and stuff. So, but yeah, so it's kind of the situation there. I did see some guys talking. Someone texted me that there were some questions out there about the creek.
Yep.
Danny said as of right now, it's a go. So we will be crossing. They just haven't had much rain at all. So unless they get rain north of him, a couple days before or something, we should be set to cross. And we haven't been able to cross it too many times in the past 5-6 years, so.
Good.
So yeah, should be fun. If you've never done that before, it's a game changer. A lot of things can change. But I don't know how many. We got a lot of new people that's probably never been across there. So
potentially, yes.
Yeah. So that does change up the track quite a bit. It's like I said, it's definitely a game changer for more ways than one. So. But yeah, should be good. Unfortunately, it could be a little dusty too, with not having much, but hopefully in that timber, it's not as bad, so.
Gotcha.
So we'll see, but I can't remember. Let's see. They came from the backside of the barn last year, right? Yeah, they came up because we handed them popsicles when they're leaving. So this year, they'll be coming from in front of the barn into scoring.
Correct. Yep.
So, and by doing our start down there, that actually should tie us together a little better into the timber itself. That piece of timber right there. So it won't be as much straightaways and stuff. You'll get right in the timber pretty quick. So,
Gotcha.
yeah, that's all I basically got on this one. So, yeah.
Well, we talked earlier tonight. See, I questioned you before the podcast. Probably first time we've done it in months, but what else is going on this national qualifier?
Ooh, yes. Why don't you talk about that? I just realized something. I got to make myself a note really quick.
We'll wait. If it's like you talking, it might take 5 minutes here.
No, you go ahead. Talk about the NRA. You got that.
Hey, all I have is the little bit of information you shared with me earlier today that it will be an NRA qualifying race.
Yep.
I believe it's still $20 if the website's still correct out here. Basically, when you're signing up for the race, you can also sign up to attend the national qualifying event or national cross country amateur national championship. And I don't even know if I can get the date out here. I'm trying to search this since I got a lot of lead time to look through this.
I try to do my best for you, bud.
I believe it's later in the fall, right? It's usually August time frame.
It usually is. I thought it was in between ours this year because
Yeah,
we have the 1st and the 15th. So I thought it was somewhere around like the 8th or 9th. But I just seen something on Facebook about it. Another qualifier last weekend. And boy, I should know too, but
so basically, if there's going to be a separate sign-up sheet when they register, or is this something they're going to see Tracy or myself?
yeah, you were going to do it.
Okay, I'm going to do it. Okay.
Yeah.
So you just basically come see me, fill out a form. It's $20 to qualify for the race. The classes are all out there, anywhere from the micro, intermediate, youth classes, amateur AM classes, and then the amateur PM classes.
And can you explain something on that, Chris? It's always confusing, and I would even get confused too when I look at like our classes and then you look at their classes. We don't run the same classes that they do.
Correct.
So can you tell me, like, a new rider coming up and wanting to qualify for that to go, which it's a cool event, it's at a new location this year, I think, isn't it? Or what? No, it was down there last year too, wasn't it?
Yeah. There's relevant classes. For example, there's schoolboy class similar to what we have, plus 40 class, which is B and C level. They even have a plus 40A class in the afternoon. College boy C, 15 to 21, 22 plus C, a 30 plus C class. And then Paul Sturk and the boys, the senior class, we have a plus 50. And then amateur PM classes, open A, college A, plus 30A, plus 40A, college boy B, 22 plus B, and 30 plus B.
So if I remember right, literally there's almost like 40 classes between the youth and the adults. It might even be closer to 50. But where I was really getting at, Chris, is
26.
So like say we have a C class, you know what I mean? But they've got like 5 different C classes.
Yep. For C classes, there's the 22 plus C, the 30 plus C. There's wide range. You don't have to go like a C class to one of their C classes. There's a range or a couple different classes you can sign up for.
So let's say I am plus 30, okay? And I want to sign up for it. And we race, I raced a plus 25, plus 26 class in Iowa, right?
Yeah.
Now, if I want to sign up for that, let's say I won it or I got third, okay? Isn't it top 5? You got to qualify.
Top 5 in the class that you're trying to participate in. So just because you finish top 5 in, let's say, our 26 or 16 to 25 C class, then you're outside of the top 5 in that class that you couldn't qualify for one of the other C classes on the NRA National Championship.
Right. So I might have gotten 6th place at our race, but if I was the first guy that signed up and was a first guy in a plus 30 or plus 4, whatever class they have, then I would actually qualify, even though I wasn't the top 5 here, as long as I signed up before the race, correct?
Correct.
Gotcha.
So we had a handful, I won't last year fill out the paperwork and sign and qualify for it. It's just an extra it is $20, like we've said.
And I think we had a couple win it the year before.
I want to say 2 years ago, we've had several go down.
Yeah. Everybody that's went has finished very respectably, for sure. So, and I would expect that. So, yeah. Is there a 4x4 utility class for that? Yes. Yeah, we have 2. Well, yeah. How many utility? Now, wait a second. Maybe that is a really good question.
There's no utility classes by themselves.
No, there's not. I was thinking there was, but yeah, I remember that coming up last year. There was not a utility class. I'm kind of shocked that they didn't put a utility class in there. And I can't remember if you can race a utility, in a different class with them or not. It'd have to be something I'd have to look up. I'm not sure.
Yeah, that's something we can look up here.
But at least hopefully he knows that August is a busy month. So we have State Fair race on the 15th, with utility is a paying class there. And then obviously the Pinland that we'll talk about later is it's a big deal for the utilities for sure. So
Yeah.
That's a great question because I forgot about that. Do you have anything else on the NRA then?
Not that I have learned in the last 5 minutes here. As always, if you have questions, you can go out to the NRA-USA.com for information.
And then, of course, we are not doing bikes on Sunday this year.
We are not doing bikes on Sunday this year. That's
just leave it at that.
Yeah. I think you've learned your lesson.
Yes, 100%.
So, what else is going on?
So we got the
Any other
NRA.
updates, Mount Pleasant? Parking's a little tight, so the later you get there, you might be well down the road by the gate.
Yeah, I mean, we always say that, but there's always been plenty of parking. Nobody's ever even been back to the gate where not the physical gate, But
Yeah.
where we have the gate,
Yeah.
where the trailer's parked there, there's been nobody even close to that, so there's still room there. And I think we'll have more parking than what we had last year. So yeah, we'll be fine. It's good.
I mean, for those who've never been to Mount Pleasant, kind of talk about the track a little bit, because I think it's unique place that we get to ride on.
Yeah, I was just talking to somebody at work today that works for another company, and they were like, I will be there. They don't race. They used to race, but they're like, I love that place. It's just so unique. If you've never been to Mount Pleasant, I say this about all of our landowners, make no mistake about that. But once again, the Grabers are second to none. They help us tremendously every year. It's just a thing when you pull in there, it's like, I think it's the only gated community that we race in, right?
Yeah.
But you pull in, you're going to think for a second you're in the wrong spot because there's a gate there. You go up a big rock hill. There's a speed limit there, I think 10 mile an hour or 15, and that's all you want to go. It's definitely rough for a reason, but nice driveway all up there, but that driveway's got to be all of at least a half mile. I'm guessing.
Yeah. It's a ways.
Yeah. But a lot of history at that place, but yeah, very, very unique place. But you get to the track itself, Chris. I think you've been around it before, haven't you?
Back in the day.
Yeah. So
we used to race there. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's unique. It's got everything, a lot of elevation change. It's got some, not too many rocky areas, but there is a couple little rocky hills and stuff that we take advantage of. There's a couple creeks, little tiny creeks that we cross. The rock can get slick, from crossing them, but we got some tight timber. We got some just good flowing timber that you can really be on the gas. We're on some, what do you call those? Like tow roads, or not tow roads, but logging roads, I guess you'd call them. Yeah. But it's got everything. And then when we crossed a couple good hills there, but when we crossed the creek, that's a game changer. What's that creek? Probably, I'm going to say 150 foot wide, maybe.
Yeah. Because you're not going straight across it, right? Normally
Right.
kind of have to go ahead and diagonal across it.
And the second crossing, depending on which way we're going, I can't do it in my head right now, but what I normally call the second crossing, not the one by the cemetery, but the other one, there's two ways across it. And it's probably all 300 foot if you go that way, and the other way is probably 200 foot, I'm guessing, across there. Typically, we don't cross that if the water is taller, like a foot deep, that's about where we do it at. And we're actually okay as long as it's not flowing. Even flowing, it's no big deal, but you don't want to be much more than
No.
taller than a tire. So, but good bottom. It's all rocky bottom. There's no issues there, but but yeah, it's just really good. We got the barns, you just get a piece of history when you go down there, so.
Question for the kids, is the pond, is it filling back up with water?
I don't think there's been any, what you would call filling up. It's potentially less than it was last year.
Okay.
So the skies have just been parting ways when it comes to rain down there. Hasn't been a good thing for them. So,
okay.
But unfortunately, yeah, I'm pretty sure the pond it's lower than it was last year. So.
All right. So those that are new, that they have a pond right in front of the house that not only do the kids gather if it's warm, but adults will go down and gather as well after the race and jump in to cool off.
And this has got to be one of the kids' favorite place to race, just because you mentioned the pond and the swimming, but all the playground stuff that they have out there, and it just, It's just so unique. That's all there is to it. It's
Yeah.
just really neat. So, but yeah, Mount Pleasant. Let me ask you this. Danny got with me the other day and let me know how many times we've actually been down there racing. Guess how many years this will be this year that we've raced at that place?
25.
You were right for a second. 20.
What?
Yep.
Hmm.
It's our 20th time down there. Because we didn't go for like the first, I think we started in 05 or 06.
Okay.
So it was like first year or two we didn't go there. So, but yeah. So
20th time. Wow.
yeah. Been a great track to have on board for that long, that's for sure. So yeah, that's about all I got for Mount Pleasant.
Okay.
We finally was able to make our trip down to Cainsville on Sunday and met with them, got around the property. Didn't get down into the really hilly stuff by no means. We kind of stayed just outside the timber.
Okay.
But I wanted to send you some pictures to be able to put up there, but I don't think I got to talk to you on the way home, did I?
No, I ignored your phone calls. I mean, I was busy. Right. I was busy Sunday.
Yep.
Yeah.
So, I know I was giddy. I had to call somebody and I talked to Brock and I talked to Paul pretty much the whole way home.
Gotcha.
But man, oh man, that place is going to be, it's
going to be something special.
It is. Yeah. We're looking at probably a 12-mile course.
Oh.
I think it could be 18 very, very easy. But it's going to be a nice course. It's got nice elevation change. There's just a lot there. Parking is phenomenal. If people's ever raced at Carlisle is probably one of the places we had what I considered almost the best parking, just because it was all in one section. It was all together, Yeah. Where we're parking, at least tentative right now, I'm sure that's where we're going to be. That's about the size. I would say it's probably potentially maybe a little bigger than Carlisle. And then if we go through the gate just across the fence line, and there's even a gate there to get to the road too, it's like a whole nother Carlisle. Now that one's not perfectly flat. Neither one of them are perfectly flat, but they're both really good. So where we're going to be parking is the best one, as far as being more flat than the other one, but it won't be an issue at all. It's going to be a lot of fun. And I hadn't told you yet, Chris, so this is news to everybody, but we're actually going to do a special, I guess you'd call it, podcast on Cainsville coming up. Yeah, there you go, Chris. Nothing like letting you know at the last second, huh?
What else is new?
But we got some neat stuff going on that we want to get out there. We got a lot of information about that track, that race. It's going to have different times, that we're racing. We're moving the kids up a little bit. We're moving the adults back just a little bit. That's all to get people downtown,
Yep. And when you say kids, we're not moving up the U. We're going to probably adjust the times of the mini class or session.
Well, with that having right in front of me, I thought we were doing both.
Oh, yep. I think you're right. I think we're going to start at 8:00.
Yeah. Instead of 8:30. Yep. I think we're kicking off at 8. And keep in mind, I know some people be like, oh gosh, 8:30 is early enough. The reason we're moving that up is to make sure that the kids get all the attention at their awards as well. It's going to be a lot of fun. We want to make sure we get them their attention. And everything. So we've got to get that gap in between till we get all those quads downtown. We're going to have a parade there. They won't be able to go just any time. As soon as we get done with the second awards, for the minis is when we'll open the gate up to go down. So, but we got a lot of work to do when we get down there. So you and I've talked about how we're going to do that. We'll get all this stuff finalized. And I mentioned to someone else the other day, I think we'll have to just probably do a podcast, a special one just on that, to go over everything that's different, times, how we're doing them. There might be a special class that we're doing for that race. Just a whole bunch of stuff. So that'll definitely be one whole thing. And we got a couple of guests that are going to come on for then, Chris, to make some really neat announcements. A couple special guests that'll be on there for that one. Gosh, I really hope we have the trophies by then so we can,
I hope so.
Do an unveiling of the trophies. But they're on a ship somewhere right now. I know that. So, but anyway, so yeah.
And everything's kind of shaping up for Cainsville. We got the points now for the first 2 rounds. It's on a little early, so I can kind of keep track of that. But Cainsville's different. That we're going to start for the adults. Starting order is based off season points. So every class is looking good. We're going to have at least 2 rows for all classes. And once we get closer, we'll know more on breakouts. But it's important. I don't know if you want to touch on it, that the registration dates, right? We have cutoffs.
Yeah, it's very important. I'm glad you brought that up. So we need to talk about this more often than not save it just for a special podcast. But yeah, so we basically have 2 different cutoffs.
Yeah.
This is basically, we got to look at it as if it was the Iowa State Fair. If you've never raced the fair before, you should. It's very cool. It's a lot of fun, but there's no registration the day of. That's exactly what this race will be. There's no registration the day of. And the reason for that, Chris?
Is because I need all the time I can get to get everybody lined up for the adults in the proper starting order and proper rows based off points. And then if you're not in the points, it's then first row is based off points. So top 5 guaranteed spot on first row of that class. Outside top 5, it's based off registration on how soon you register as how those spots will fill up for that class.
Nope. Let's back up.
Yes.
Nope. We're arguing now. I've already told everybody this too many times. We can't change it. So as long as you're in the points, so if there's 15 people in the points for that class, that's the first 15.
Okay.
Yeah. I apologize if I said that wrong, but I've told people in the writers' meeting so far this year every time. So that's why it's so important to be in the points. And when it all comes down to it, even if you start, let's say you start 20th, you know what I mean? That's the 4th row, right?
Yep.
So that's a 4th row, and we're starting, we thought was going to be every 10 seconds. Might have a little bit more time on us now, but it's still make sure everybody understands that when you start, it's all counted, right? So the times that's why it's so important for us to start on time, each one. Just like when we normally start, the times are corrected, as they are in a normal race, but now they're even more because we have so many different rows. So, yeah, sorry, Chris, if I put a wrench in that. I hope it's not that much harder for you. It should be easier.
I'm making a note here.
So let's just be clear on that. So if we have, let's say, women's class, we have, and this is important because this is a series race. We're just blowing this race up for huge reason, with the career of Penland, and having a race after him means a world. So being able to do this, so it's a very big deal, but our people that are racing are going to get rewarded by having those front spots no matter what. So yeah, if we have 15 people in, say, the first year class, then that's the That's the first 3 rows right there.
Gotcha.
If somebody hasn't raced with us, let's say they're coming from another series or something, or just trying it for the first time, then that is the ones when they sign up. Everyone that signs up, though, no matter if you're in the points or not, will have a number put on your deal. So we'll be able to tell if you're the 100th person to sign up or if you're the 180th person to sign up. But everybody that signs up that's in points, you'll be lined up as you are in points. And then after that, it's open to whoever. So if we have 20 people come in on top of our C class right now, and our C class is the top 20 people starting, and we have 20 more people show up that day that want to race it, which we'd love to have them, then that means we have 40 starting positions in C class. And those 40 starting positions, instead of having 40 people on one row, we now have what? How many? 8 rows. 8 rows of 5 people in the C class. See what I mean?
Yep.
So yeah, the reason I was asking you why we had to have that, I've had some people talk about it and ask me about that, and on how are we doing this, and I always get the thing, because we've talked about this too, Chris. Obviously when we started thinking about this, we want to go back to the days of Mike Pinland, and when he started and everything. Well, that's the Blackwater, everybody thinks of. Even have episodes of that in our video that we put out. But we all know there's nothing's ever going to compare to the Blackwater. The only similarity is at the start, right? Then everybody, most of us have never been to it. We have some people that's raced the Blackwater in our series, but I was never fortunate enough to even see it other than film, But the other thing that's comparing it, it'll get compared to and how we're starting is probably more people know it as a snowshoe, Yep. Well, so we hear that all the time, but let's be clear. This is brand new to me and you. Our team's never, ever done this before. So guaranteed every one of us is going to be nervous about this and getting it taken off the way it should be. And we're doing a lot of those. I think we're doing really good right now. Precautions, about how we're starting, stuff that could go wrong, stuff that might not, and trying to get ahead of them. But with that being said, no matter how easy it looks for the snowshoe, I've never seen that. I just know it looks really cool. We are prepared. That's why we're moving the times around so we can make this work. It's a huge challenge for us, making this. And I know for you, you probably obviously get the worst end of this, making the changes with this scoring and the way we got to do it. And I know you've made a lot of changes over the winter to prepare for this.
We're prepared for 60 rows.
What's that?
We're prepared for 60 rows.
60 rows.
We've tested it. Yep.
I think we'll be over that.
Okay.
Maybe wishful thinking, but I think we'll be over that. So I want to go into more details, but I think it's better just to do it when everybody's focused just on that race. So
okay,
we'll hold off on some of them, but I got to say, no matter what, I got to throw this out every time that I cannot thank Adam Ratliff enough. We would not be having this if it wasn't for Adam. One, he helped us find this. I'll tell you how much he's helping, Chris. As of right now, as we're talking, he is out talking to the landowner for me about a situation we got that we've got to make sure is done for in our head, how we have it laid out. So we'll be talking to him just in a little bit. So about it. So yeah, he's literally working on it right now. So yeah, can't thank him enough for everything. And you'll see a lot more of that stuff coming out once we really get talking about just Cainsville. So, but yeah, it's looking really, really good.
Good.
I was so giddy on Sunday coming back. It was, yeah. I think my wife's sick of me talking about it, put it that way.
All right. So we'll get more information. Once we get all the details, I think we'll kind of throw out some maybe flyer posts out there on Facebook as well.
Yeah.
Kind of go with those videos that's been posted.
Yep. Then, what was I going to tell you? The big thing that we got to share is the fact that we have a new sponsor just for that race as well. So one that's never been with us before, here we go again. We got to thank Adam Ratliff for helping us find this sponsor. But Premier Ag out of Stanberry and Bethany, Missouri. Premier Ag is our sponsor for that race. So I can't thank them enough. That is huge. That's in an area that, we don't have any, contacts for, I guess, with trying to come up with sponsors, local sponsors, and for them to help. They couldn't have picked a better race to jump on board. So we can't thank Premier Ag enough, and we'll be talking about them a lot more here in the very near future. We're excited to really highlight the series in a race that they're going to be a part of. So really looking forward to Cainsville, that's for sure. So, but did you want to run through any names really quick, or do you want to hold off on that?
Let's hold off. I think it'll paint a better picture after round 3.
Okay.
As to how's everything's going to shape up, because in addition just Mount Pleasant race, we mentioned it on podcast a couple weeks ago. It is also bonus points, so
yes,
that's going to help as well, and it's going to kind of shift some stuff around. So
wait, what's bonus points?
Round 3, Mount Pleasant. Bonus points.
My bad. I thought you were talking about Cainsville. Sorry. Yes.
No.
Yes.
You're kind of painting a picture of what's leading up to Cainsville.
Yeah.
We'll do it on a special podcast after Mount Pleasant. We'll get that all scheduled out there.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm glad you pointed that out. Yes, because helping real quick, go over really quick the bonus points. That's not only Mount Pleasant, but it's 2 in a row. Mount Pleasant and Cahokia.
Yes.
Are the bonus races. So tell us really quick, how did that affect me in points?
So you get 10 bonus points just for signing up for the race and being on the starting line.
Yeah, you got to leave the starting line, and if you're registered and you're on the starting line and you leave, so even if you break the first lap, you get 10 bonus points on top of. So you'll get your results right. When I look at the results and the point system, I'll have all my points. So let's say I get second and I get 22 points for second.
22. Yep.
So then, right, there'll be another column, correct? And that's my bonus points.
Yep.
And just by starting the race at Cahokia and Mount Pleasant, we get 10 points.
Each.
So how does that affect? You've figured out points enough in your lifetime for us.
Yeah.
What is 20 points? How does that, you think, affects points at the end of the year?
No, just those 2 bonus points is, if you think about it, third place finish in a race, which is normally 19 points. So, 20 points is close to it. So that's pretty much essentially giving everybody up to another race.
Yep. And how many times we see in points where it's the winner has 102, second place is 100.
101.
Yeah.
Well, it's the nail biter, based off the bonus points and the Ironman points, that's 10 bonus points for making every race. Those extra 30 points can add up throughout the year.
Yep. So, yeah, pretty darn cool there. Lot riding on this race with obviously starting spots for Cainsville, Also, your whole shot is available for this one. This is our 3rd race. Now, a lot of people may forget this part too. Don't forget, we got $3,000 purse thanks to 4 people plus Hotsy on that whole shot challenge at Murray, right? And
correct.
What's that?
That's correct.
And you only can get into that program no matter how fast, no matter how many races you are. You have to have a whole shot. You have to have won a whole shot this year. And so many people I've talked to, like, hey, are you in yet? Nope, but I got 4 more chances, because typically only the first 6. We have 7 races a year. So typically the first 6 qualify you for the whole shot challenge, that 7th race. But we do not when we're starting the way we're starting at Cainsville. you don't qualify there because we don't have hole shots there. So you only have Cahokia, Mount Pleasant, and Weldon. You only have 3 more shots at getting into that hole shot challenge this year. So it's dwindling away really quick. Did I stump you? You look stumped.
Nope, I was trying to read my Excel spreadsheet here. I thought I had both rounds, but just, throwing out names. Who's qualified so far? This just after round 1. Cade Vanderpool, Colton Voss, Caleb Trumbull, Kyle Krupp, Mikkel Farmer, Travis Troy, Jenna Berg, Riker Birch, Zion Kaler, Connor Kelderman, Jackson Carroll, Thad Trump, Camden Carter, and Braisley Fry.
And that's for just the first race qualifiers, right?
That's correct.
Nice. Now all of them have to win it here on out too, and that eliminates some of the competition.
It will.
So don't give up. Once you've won one, don't give up. So remember, by getting one, Chris, you get to go to the registration trailer. You get your Hotsy Hole Shot. I won the Hole Shot t-shirt. And then it qualifies you for that. And at the end of the day, we've only ever paid top 3. This year we're paying top 4. And 4th place alone, this blows me away. It's a great idea Tyrell came up with. 4th place alone gets $400. And do you remember how he came up with that? That's all of your that's how much all of your entry fees would cost the whole year.
Yep.
That's pretty cool. So yeah. So anyway, be a lot of fun. So we got Cainsville, Hole Shot, Mount Pleasant. Was there anything else that you had? I got to cover something here.
You kind of touched on some of it for Cainsville. I think with the special podcast, it'll clear up some of the other questions.
Real quick on Cainsville, let me just throw this out there. I've been making some calls, but on Cainsville, we would like to find some more vendors. So if you have a family member or friend that has not food, we don't need anything food oriented, but like whether it be for more geared towards the women, more geared towards the guys, maybe both. But if they have any vendors, we have some tent space, we believe. Otherwise, they could just set a tent up, but we have plenty of room. We would like to get some more vendors coming in. So if anybody knows of somebody or like to refer them to us, have them give me a call, and I can talk to them about that. So, but should make for a fun deal. So, and then we have, again, some special stuff coming that we'll be talking about later on. And you'll want to plan on being there 2 days, though. You want to be there Friday night for sure, Friday evening. And then obviously the race is Saturday. So,
and maybe I can spill the beans, but if you're a guy, you might want to start growing out some facial hair for something coming up, right? I
think we've already mentioned that.
So
we'll cover that more, but yeah, there will be a mustache contest. So,
yeah.
Yep. And I'm pretty sure I know who the judge is going to be too.
Gotcha.
You have any idea?
The man, the myth, the legend, maybe?
Bingo.
Yeah.
We're going to let Mike Penland be the judge. I think he's a pretty good one to judge on who has the best mustache. So, but anyway. So, yeah, I think that's enough for Cainsville right now. Like I said, we're going to have a special episode just on that to get everything out there. But I'm just telling you. Oh, let me throw one more thing out there because I haven't brought this up enough about Cainsville. It just keeps coming.
One more thing.
One more quick thing, and that is, I know we talked about this at the beginning of the year, but I don't know if I've said it near enough. I'm going to try to get one ahead of time. But, Chris, we have 2 races in a row that I think are special for just literally one reason only. we go to Cainsville. That will be the very first ever AMA state championship rewarded. If you're a Missouri racer, how can you possibly let somebody from Iowa, Illinois, Arkansas, Oklahoma, anywhere come in there and take your one shot at an AMA state championship, first ever?
Nice.
You're gonna be in the books. That's a big deal. We gave away, it wasn't the first AMA state championship in Iowa, but we have that qualified now for the short course at the Iowa State Fair. We've been doing now for 3-4 years. So we actually have 2 races in a row, Chris. That will be AMA state championships, one for Missouri and one for Iowa.
Nice.
So you don't have a chance to win that very often in your lifetime,
No.
So that's really cool. So you Missouri guys, it's going to be interesting to see who brings their best. And if Missouri is going to allow guys to take their state championship back to their state versus leaving it in Missouri. We lost our what we call it AA, like our equivalent to our pro class at the Iowa State Fair, AMA state championship last year. It went all the way to West Virginia.
Yeah.
Adam McGill came and stole our state championship. So, but man, for a first year racer, for a C class, you just start racing, you're in Missouri, your home's in Missouri. Man, I'm going to make sure that thing stays in my state. I'm not going to let that thing get away. So, but there's a lot of people coming for them. So it's going to be, you're going to have your A game for that race. I don't think anybody's going to accidentally win, so. Anyway, so that's a lot of the good stuff there. But this is going to take me just a minute. Did you get a chance to listen to that podcast?
No, I was on the phone with somebody for quite a while this evening trying to plan out this podcast. Didn't get a chance, but I'll listen to it tomorrow.
So it's very interesting. It's one that, just like one of those that I've kind of listened to, off and on. But I just told my wife, it's going to come out wrong. I'm going to say it this way anyway. But the old, I've been telling you so. Some of it I'm really glad, some of it I'm really bad. But this is stuff that I have said in the drivers' meetings with the side-by-side guys, with the ATV guys, with just racers in general. And this just hit me off guard. Some of it I knew about, but some of it I didn't. And you got to listen to it. I'm going to give these guys credit because I enjoy their podcast. But it's ATV-Talk, a motorsports podcast. And I can share it out there for anybody, but it's Leonard Duncan and Joe Tolley is who puts this on. It's just a wide-ranging conversation about current state of ATV industry and where things could be headed next, from rumors of new ATV models being built and tested, and it just goes on. And I encourage anybody, it's episode 386, called Rumors, Reality, the Future of ATV Racing. Chris, I could get going on this one, so you got to keep me kind of grounded here. But
7 minutes.
How many times have we heard people come in and tell us, probably me more than you, because I deal with sponsors, obviously a lot more and stuff, but ATV racing is dying.
We've been hearing that for 10 years
easily. In 14, when Honda stopped doing their stuff and then other manufacturers followed them, everybody jumped and said that's going to be it. And we've had people ask us, sponsors, big time sponsors have asked us how much longer we're going to do this since ATV's dying. I've told people all the time, it's never going to die as long as you have families like what we have racing with us. There may not be machines coming out all the time, but anytime that we can create an atmosphere where people want to come, the race is actually the smallest part. You have so many great families that there. Heck, the last race, I'll bet we had 20 to 30 campers on Saturday night, stuck around when it was Mother's Day the next day, So, but just a lot of fun, a lot of friendships being made. The kids just are playing, it's phenomenal seeing all this stuff. That's more of what's keeping the sport going. But here's the thing, and I've said this so many times, it's cross-country racing. Cross-country is for everybody. If you just went out riding with your buddies, where do you ride? You go ride on an open field, or do you run back in the timber and just ride and have fun and stuff? So truth be told, anybody can do cross-country. Anybody can, That's why we have so many different classes. You don't have to be Superman and jump 30-foot gaps, that takes a little different character, but this whole podcast, they were talking about the ATV, not just literally racing period, but the industry and everything. Some of them really surprised me. And it's that the cross country part of it that everybody thought was dying. And they even mentioned about hearing it and stuff, how it's alive. Your motocross, and I mean, no disrespect to any of these people when I say this, by no means, but your motocross for ATVs, the bikes and the ATVs don't get, they don't get along necessarily. We've seen that in even cross country, but I think it's even worse in motocross. And the ATV motocross scene is the numbers appear, I'm not familiar with it as much, but just listen to them. The numbers appear to be going down. And the opportunities for people to race in ATV motocross are going way down. We see it in TT. We see it in all the other different, disciplines, I should say, but the cross country numbers are going up. We've seen some series open up in the last year or two. We've seen a bunch of them close down, probably 4 or 5 years ago. But last couple of years, we've seen some other ones come. It looks like they're doing a great job. Looks like they've been doing it for a long time and they're brand new to it. So, but now what we're seeing, and again, no disrespect to the side-by-side guys, we love them, but we love the cross-country racing. But do you remember when we seen a downfall of our side-by-side racers racing cross-country? And a lot of them was going to the short course stuff,
Yep.
And I don't know how many times we mentioned then is we've got to weather the storm because it can't contain itself. It just can't. There's way too much money involved. I mean, I'm hearing stories of guys paying $600, $700, $800 just for a parking spot at a not cross country, but short course events, these bigger nationals and stuff, it's just crazy. And we're starting to see, again, I'm just going off what they had said, but the numbers are going down. We know that the cross-country racing in side-by-sides, they even mentioned in there, they tried to blame it on AMA, saying that GNCC dropped them and Works dropped them, but there's a lot of other series that's dropped them too, and it's just because of the cost. It's not the racing, and the racing is the funnest part about it, but even the people just out doing the normal everyday recreational riding and stuff, these things are going way through the sky. And evidently what they were saying is that the sales are starting to catch up, and we're overflowing in the manufacturers with side-by-sides, and everything's starting to come, like slowing down, on the side-by-side market. And I guess it's been predicted by several people that would happen. Just had to give it time, get the newness out. The dirt bikes is what surprised me, is that there's so many people jumped in that dirt bike market, and they were talking about how so many people are producing them and they're so overproduced right now. So why I'm getting to this is they brought up the fact that the ATVs is starting to get a little traction. And that there is supposedly, I know of one, I'm going to tell you, I know of one company that is officially looking at a sport ATV for sure. That I can guarantee you. But they have talked about 3 different manufacturers, and there's speculation that big H word, okay, that big H word might be one of them. And supposedly, I mean, I'm not going to get into all the details, but you got to listen to it. But there's traction on new ATV sport machines coming out. We know that there's some sport 4x4 machines coming out. We know that for sure. But yeah, it's very, very interesting. There's one manufacturer that blows me away that what I'm hearing this stuff is CF Moto. CF Moto is, I guess they're a game changer right now. We've seen that a couple years ago with different stuff coming out, but just a lot of new stuff coming from these manufacturers. One that I'm personally excited about, Chris, that they were really talking about. I've been following it now for probably at least a year, because my biggest fear, and I've talked about it in AMA commission meetings, is we have 107 kids racing with us right now, right?
Yep.
You go back and look at how many of those kids could potentially be moving to a junior class in the next year, 2 years, maybe 3 years. We're probably over 50. Okay. I'm throwing this out there. It's not just you and I talking. I'm being honest with everybody. Where are you going to find 250 Raptors or 50, 300EXs? It's a nightmare. I mean, we're facing an uphill battle of keeping kids in the sport if we can't, feed them what they need here in the next couple of years. And this one has popped up in the last year. When I first heard it, didn't even look at it. Just thought it was another Chinese thing, is what it is. And it just kept getting further and further and further and kept updating stuff. And a friend of mine that works at ATV, not off-road, I just went blank. Anyway, I won't mention the name, I guess, but he took it out on a ride and did a whole thing on it and stuff. And dirt wheels. There you go. And anyway, it's the KO. Have you ever heard of the KO?
No.
Orange and white. I believe it's I think it's considered a 300. But I was just listening to them today. A couple others have tested it now. It's water cooled. There's been some stuff on there, like where the reservoir for the radiator was mounted was in a poor spot, and people have, they've sent this machine out to be tested. They said, hey, this needs to be relocated. The manufacturers relocate it. They're doing this on several little parts of this bike. They said this motor is being built. Basically, I'm going to use Yamaha as example, in a facility that builds, like, say, Yamaha machines. So we don't know the durability or the reliability of this machine because it hasn't been out long enough. But the machine itself, the motor itself, is being built right alongside very, very reliable engines, if that makes sense.
So KO, KAYO.
Correct.
Storm 300 EFI.
Yes. Fuel injected.
Yeah.
And they said point blank, the motor itself blows away. Noticeable difference over a 250 Raptor. Noticeable difference way over a 300EX.
292.4 cc displacement. Suggested retail price of $45.99.
Yep.
Huh.
So this is just one of the things, though, that's happening out there. It's gaining traction. And I truly believe that we're going to see more than one manufacturer coming out with the new 450 here really quick. Within, like, say, the next year, 2 years at the most, I would say. But even those, Chris, I'm way more excited for companies to start really, not just a cheap machine, but like this KO is supposedly going to be. It looks like it could fill that gap that we really, for me, I'm more excited about that than I am anything else. It could be a really, really cool machine. So hopefully we'll start getting a little bit more info on it. Maybe we can share it. But yeah, it sounds like it may be, rough around the edges right now, but it sounds like the manufacturer is committed to, making it right. I'm hearing the same thing like CF Moto. It's really starting to look, I guess, from the whole long story here. I know I only had 7 minutes. These manufacturers are really starting to look at, okay, this is hot now. This has been hot. This is still hot type thing. But they're looking at the future, and everything is pointing towards ATVs and sport ATVs. Like, what can I get in and go out and ride and have fun? Another thing that we're seeing, and I'm sorry if I offend anybody, Chris, but the one thing that's really putting a black eye on the side-by-side guys right now are the coolers sitting in there. You know, they're getting so popular with all these side-by-side rides and guys going and having fun, but too many times we got a cooler of beer sitting right in the back. And I'm not saying should be against it or not against it, but it's putting a black eye on some situations that's happening. And the manufacturers are really starting to take a notice on that, I guess. And so everything's pointing to you can sure get into a new ATV and, you know, a lot cheaper than you can get into a side-by-side, whether it be a sport or recreational or work, you know, but it's pretty cool. There's just a lot of cool stuff going on. There's a lot of cool stuff as far as sport ATVs making a comeback. I guess I'm going to say it. I've said it 100 times. I know you've heard me say this, but I do not believe our sport is dying. I believe it being just the opposite. I think we have too many variables around our sport, and that being the families and the parents that are spending the time, you know, with their kids, not just sending them out to play baseball. I'm not knocking baseball. I'm just using an example, not just sending them out to a coach and go do that, but our families are with them all the time. You know, the mom, the dad, the brothers, the sisters, they're all there participating in one form or another. It would be pitting or cooking or, you know, cleaning or working on or whatever, but they're all doing it together. And I've always been a big believer in that, number one. And I think that is the number one strength that our sport has that no other sport can match. And yeah, it's cool to actually hear people that's been around as long as those two have talking about that. It just fires me up anyway, hearing that. And it's like, I knew it. I know we can do this, you know? So yeah, that's why I want to talk about it. Just some really, really cool stuff going on there. So check that podcast out. Tell them that if you mention anything to them, tell them that our podcast sent you to their podcast, but, definitely go listen to that, Chris. It'll be time well spent. I think you'll enjoy listening to that one. It's pretty cool. So, yeah. So, remember, if I have anybody listening from Wisconsin, I'm gonna make a couple calls. Anybody listening from Wisconsin that could potentially bring an ATV to Mount Pleasant for me, please get a hold of me. So. Anyway, I think that's everything I've got. So,
yeah.
Unless you're here to hold us up for one more thing, like you always do.
Nope, I'm not here to hold us up tonight.
Gotcha.
I got it. So, fortunately, I got something I got to go do yet. So,
see there?
Other shoulder.
There it is. Did you vote? I voted.
Thanks for voting.
Did you vote?
Did they give you a lollipop too?
No. Didn't get one.
Missing out.
That's only for the little guys.
Yeah. So. Oh, all right. Well, thanks guys for sticking around. We'll do this again next week as Andy prepares to head to the track the following night. We'll give you a last minute update and hopefully start sharing more information about more to come. I mean, got some good races ahead of us.
I know, just a preview for next race, I know we have potentially 2 people coming on, but I definitely want to give a shout out. Jason Smith has been invited. We're hoping we can get him on here from Midwest Performance. He's been a sponsor of ours. I think I'd have to go back and look, but I think pretty much every year that we've been there. And Jason always does some of the coolest stuff, not just for us, but for our sport in general. He's always the leader of the pack, I always say. So once again, looking forward to Mount Pleasant. Looking forward to being there with Jason and the Grabers and all landowners and everything. It's unbelievable. And we're not looking past that race. When we start talking about, we still got a great track at Cahokia, and then we got Cainsville. But every one of them's leading up to that showdown in Cainsville. So yeah. Cool. I know you're excited. August is the your favorite month of the year. I know it is. You stay
Sure.
up at night excited about, we not only have the state fair, we didn't cover that though. I'm glad. One more thing, Chris.
Oh my.
One more thing.
Those keeping track when you said one more thing.
Hey, you asked me this and I ducked it and I didn't mean to, but I just hit me. We started talking about scoring and stuff. You asked me a question earlier. Remember what that was?
I've asked you lots of questions all day.
The one that I didn't answer you properly. Pre-registration.
Dates.
Yes. So July 1st, less than a month, is the first cutoff for Cainsville. Remember, everybody must pre-register. You cannot register that day or that weekend. Everything is cut off the weekend before. But we have two cutoffs. The first one is July 1st. One, we want you to get signed up, but two, we need your size because everybody that signs up by July 1st will get their
free t-shirt.
Yeah, their free tee. It's not an event shirt. It's I believe it's going to be something like I Raced the Penland, and we'll probably have the quad father on the front maybe or something. It's not designed yet, but they will get the free t-shirt when they register by July 1st. Okay. If you don't register by July 1st, then your second cutoff is, what is it? The Thursday, or is it Saturday before?
It's a whole Saturday before.
Yeah, the Saturday before. So 1 week before that race, which I don't have a date. Do you have a date for us real quick?
Oh, I can get that date. There's a question that Zion Kaler asked about the state fair. Do the state fair count towards the year-end points?
No, it does not. That is a non-points race. It's a completely different style of racing. I think it'd be fun if it did to get more of our people there. But remember, too, that's another one you must pre-register for, but only it's 16, isn't that right? We thought it was 15, but I think we decided 16 for 8 in each heat. Only 16 people per class can sign up for that, except for kids. Kids, we do take more. But for the Iowa State Fair, only the first 16 people to sign up, say C class, and heck, look at C class. We've had over 20, 25 people the first two races. So not even everybody in our C class can sign up and race in C class at the state fair. So, and that's due to time restrictions, obviously.
Deadline is July 25th.
So first one is July 1st, and you get a free t-shirt. The last cutoff is July, you say 25th?
25th, 5 p.m.
25th at 5 p.m. Gates are closed. Nobody else registers. So remember that. You can sign up at any time. If you're not in the points, that helps you by signing up before Joe does next week that's not in the points, because that guarantees you a starting spot in front of him. So anyway, that's all I had, Chris, on both of those. I do not have one more thing. So that being said, I think that's it. People, gather your questions for Cainsville, the Iowa State Fair, any of those we can answer here.
We'll get the FAQ going for Cainsville.
Yep. So sounds good.
Well, thanks everybody for sticking around. We'll see you next week.
Perfect.